Today I'm going to be showing you how to make this wallpaper right here. It's pretty cool wallpaper I just thought of. Kind of got some blood splatters and stuff going on there. So let's go ahead and get started on it. Oh, another thing that I wanted to touch up on real quick is that the previous tutorial that I did, it was about how to install Gimp and layer styles. Well, on Gimp they had changed the links, their website again, and they changed it like really quick. So if you download this right here, this is an installer for Windows 32 and 64-bit. It works for 64-bit, it says. So if you just click this link and download the installer and then click run the installer, it should work. If not, then you could go and download the zip file right here, and we could go ahead and I'll show you that. The file comes with 32, 64 Gimp filters, all this stuff here, which I don't know what all this other stuff is, but all you need to do is click on the 64-bit one, and they got all this stuff here. I don't know what that is, but you want to click on this one, the GMC Gimp plugin 64-bit Windows, and these are everything that you need. They got the lib png 16-16 fixed, to where you don't have to delete the underscores like in the tutorial I showed you. So all you want to do is just go ahead and take all this stuff that I showed you, or that's here, and put it where I showed you in the previous tutorial, and it should work. And I just wanted to touch up on that. Alrighty, now we can go ahead and get into the tutorial. We're going to go File, New, and I'm doing 1920 by 1080 with a 300 ppi, and ppi is pixels per inch. So just, I don't know, let you know, and press OK. And we are going to go ahead and drag in this dark texture. I'm going to zoom out just a little bit. Press the minus key on your keyboard, press Shift T on your keyboard, and we're going to go ahead and drag this to fit in just a little bit. Press Scale, and then you'll just want to right click on there and layer the image size, and then we are going to drag in another texture, this texture right here, and we're going to zoom out a lot. Press the minus key on your keyboard or use the scroll wheel on your mouse. Press Shift T again, and we're going to go ahead and resize this by a lot. Press Scale, wait for it to scale. Press the M key on your keyboard, move it into place, and then zoom in. Shift and the plus key on your keyboard. Press Shift T again, and we're going to scale it down some more. Just a little bit. Okay, press Scale. EM on your keyboard. Move the active layer, make sure that's clicked, and then let's just, I don't know, move it right there. Right click, layer the image size, and then set this on overlay. And brings in just nice, decent texture, looking texture there. And the next thing we are going to drag in is this fiber texture that I made. I'm going to go ahead and drag that in there. And we're going to go to the channels, and we are going to click off. Okay, this is a new theme on here, so I haven't used this one before, but I was just making sure. Just click off the red one, and then go down to the green and go channel to selection, and then go back to layers, and we're going to click down here, make a new layer, and then go back to your channels and click back on the red, and then come over here to your color, and we are going to click a dark color. The one that I'm using is 830A0A. Press OK, and you could use the paint bucket tool, the brush, whatever you want, and just click on there. Control Shift A to deselect. Okay, now turn off the fiber texture, and you can go ahead and delete it if you would like. And we're going to place this red texture, we're going to place it on overlay, just like that. And we're going to go back in here, and we are going to grab Ichigo, and we're going to drag him in there. And there's a little watermark on there, and we're going to go ahead and grab the rectangle selection tool and just select over it, and press delete on your keyboard. Control Shift A to deselect it. Press M on your keyboard to move them. And we don't have to resize them or nothing, we're just going to move them down a little bit. And let's see, where do we want them about? Right there would be fine. Alright, and in the previous video, the reason why I wanted you to install the layer styles is because we're going to go ahead and use them in here. We're going to go to layer effects, and then stroke. We're going to change this color to black. Press OK. And see, the reason why I wanted you guys, or the reason why I like Python better than the script foo, is because on this one you could preview, and on the script foo you can't. So we're going to size it to 3, and we're going to click on merge with layer, and we see you could go ahead and preview it and see how it looks. And I just want the edges to be more crisp, and it kind of darkens it up just a little bit. And we're going to press OK, and we're going to go ahead and Control Shift duplicate this one, and we're going to rename these two. Let's double click on them, and we're going to rename Ichigo, and we can put Ichigo stroke if you want. And then this one we're going to make Ichigo smooth. And this is the reason why I wanted you to install Gimp, because we're going to go to filters, and then go all the way down and click on Gimp, and then we're going to go to repair, and we're going to go to smooth bilateral. Let's move this into place here so I can show you. And what this does is it just smoothens it out. See how there's kind of some noise in there and stuff. So we're just making them smooth. Hit apply. You can't see it because this is in the way, but it's working. The filter is. Just click off of there and see how we made them smooth. Okay, and just like over here, I named them the same thing, I think. Yeah, well, I named Ichigo and then smooth, and then so we're going to go ahead and duplicate him again, and this one we're going to name to Ichigo Hue, and we're going to go up here to colors, and then down to filter pack, and then we're going to click on hue, and we're going to go more red, and then we're going to press OK. And make sure we go to layered image size on these, and then on here we are going to add a layer mask, and we're going to go over and grab a paintbrush. Click on your paintbrush tool, and you should have the splatter brushes installed from previous installs. We make sure your foreground and background color is black and white. And we're just going to click in there. We grab different splatter brushes if we want. We're also going to grab this soft brush, and we're going to go over him to take that redness off his body. I just wanted to make his inside of his jacket look more red. So we go just kind of like that. Okay. Now let's go back to our brushes and grab different splatter brushes. You can make these as big as you'd like, small as you'd like, however you want to do it. Use the angle here to move the angle. Let's go ahead and grab a different splatter brush. Make some splatters. Maybe a little bit more down there. And then we are going to go ahead and cut the opacity down quite a bit, and go ahead and grab a different one. Make the angle back to 0. Make the size smaller. Just some little clicks in there with the different opacity of a brush. You just play with this part right here and do whatever you would like. Just kind of make some different splatters in there. And this is actually a pretty, I like this splatter pack. Just like that. And we're gonna rename this to Ichigo Hue is fine. Control Shift, and we're gonna duplicate that, and we are going to apply the layer mask just like that. And you could go ahead and apply or add another layer mask if you'd like. Then, like I said, just play around with the opacities and stuff and all that. So, but I think that looks pretty good. So that's the same thing we did over here. And we could actually go, see, gotta apply the layer mask first. You can make it more red if you'd like. Just however you want to do it is fine. You just play around, like I said, just play around with this part. Just however you want to do it. And we made them more red. Let's see. Gotta open this back up. Alrighty. Let's see, what else did I do here? Oh. We're going to go ahead and go back to the very bottom one, and this is another thing that you need the layer effects. I mean, you could go ahead and do it by hand if you prefer to do that, but we're going to click on outer glow. And we are going to go to the color, and we're going to make a color of A2071D. 71D. Press OK. Just like that. And we are going to make the blend mode normal. At a 75% opacity with a 13 spread, and the size we're going to go with 71, and we could go ahead and preview that if you'd like. This one takes just a little while. And if you tell on the down here, if you look, it's going through different phases. So it's going from darker to lighter, and it with gray color on this side for some reason. But let's give it a second, and it should be done. And that's what we wanted. So we're going to press OK, and it's going to do its work again. And you might be saying, well, why are we doing it like that? It's too bright or whatever. Well, we're going to go ahead and we're going to change the layer mode over here. As soon as it gets done working. Sorry, my computer is being so slow today. I don't know what's wrong with it. We're going to change the layer mode over here to multiply. I'm going to set that back on normal. We're going to go and click on the right one and click on multiply. And that just kind of darkened it up a little bit. If you see this one, that's what we did over here too. Pretty sure it was multiply. Yeah, multiply. I'll move this around. Okay. Alrighty. So that made it a little bit darker. And now what we're going to do is we are going to click right here, and we're going to make a new layer. And we're going to name this splatters. Press OK. And we are going to use same color, and we're just going to go around and we're going to click. Let's see, multiply or overlay on these ones. Either or, you could do multiply or overlay, whichever you would prefer. And we're just going to go through here and put some blood splatters in. You change the size of them, do whatever you'd like really. And then just go through here, and that's all I'm going to do is just put some different blood splatters on here. Go ahead and find some stuff that looks cool. Now, one thing you got to take into account is that on different areas, on the lighter surfaces than on darker surfaces, the layer modes work different. Like on a darker one, it'll look darker On lighter, it looks lighter. So that's why I'm saying you could play around. You could either use overlay or multiply. It just depends on what you want and what you think looks best. Let's grab us. Let's see. Play with that just a little bit. I'm just going to go through here and put some splatters all through here. Different sizes. Move the angle around. Let's see here. Let's throw that away. Just throwing that away. And it's okay to use the same brush a few times. Just like I said, just move it and get it the way you like it. Just the whole point here is just to kind of just make it look a little bit like blood splatters. So that's the whole look we're going for. Drop the size down on that. And the angle. Get something going here. Alrighty. That looks okay with me. And like I said, you could do the overlay if you'd like, or you could go with multiply. I think for this one, I think I like multiply better, personally. I think I went with multiply on this one too. It's just personally what I like better. And I think that's pretty much it with Ichigo. What we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to make a new layer. And we're going to name this layer Darken Ichigo. And we're going to go back into our layer, or our brushes, and we're going to grab a soft brush and we're going to make the angle back to 0, maybe, if I can get shit right, stuff right here, excuse my language. And let's see, yeah, that's about right. And we're going to grab black, and we're going to turn the opacity down on the brush by quite a bit. We're just going to make some passes over them. Let's lower the brush a little bit. And we're just going to darken them up in some of the lighter spots, just to keep that dark feel going. And we could go ahead and alt click on the very first one, then go back over here, and then that way we stay inside the lines, so to speak. Darken them up quite a bit, especially in the lighter areas. And on his head, and Control Shift A to deselect, and that just made him a little bit darker. This other area we want to keep light. Alrighty, now we're going to grab our text tool, and we are going to use a font that I found on dafont.com. I'll leave the link in the description, and it is Poly. I'll find it here in a minute. It's called not Poly. It's called Pincoyablack Heavy is what it's called. And we are going to make a size of, we'll try 490 for now, and just type out Ichigo. Grab your move tool and move it into place. If you don't want the lettering that big, you could, make it as big or as small as you'd like, of course. Just highlight it and lower it down. And we'll go with, I don't know, 400. See what that looks like. And that looks fine. And then you just place it wherever you'd like on the document. That looks okay with me. And we're going to alt click, and we're going to come over here, and we are going to grab a dark gray. I just wanted to make sure. And then we're going to grab a light gray. And then we're going to grab our gradient tool. You can hold shift to make a straight line. And let's see. About right there. Looks okay for me. Control Shift A to deselect. Yeah, that looks okay with me. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to go to layer, and then we're going to go back to our layer effects, and we're going to go to bevel and emboss, and we are going to use a inner bevel up on the size. The depth is going to be 65. The size is going to be 3. And the angle is going to be 90. And 30 for that. And we could go ahead and preview it if you'd like. I'm going to check off the preview, and I'm going to go ahead and make the highlight and the shadow opacity at 100%. Oops, that's 1000. Nah, we'll leave the shadow at 75. That looks better to me. And we're going to go ahead and press OK. And then that way it gives it kind of a glossy looking effect. If you can see, you turn off the highlight and the shadow. which actually you don't have to go with the shadow, but I'm going to leave the shadow on here because it makes it a little bit darker. As you can see over here, if I can get to the right one, see how it's kind of dark? Kind of dark there. Alright, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and alt click on the original text, and we are going to drop in this concrete texture. And you could leave it right there if you want, or you could size it down if you want to. It's totally up to you. Click on your scale tool, cancel, Control Shift A that. We'll go ahead and scale it down if you'd like. To whatever you want. I just scale it down that much. And we'll grab our move tool, press M on your keyboard. You just kind of want to get them little, see these scratches right here, you just kind of want to get those in there. We'll go back and we'll alt click back on that text, and we'll go up to select, invert, and then we'll press delete on our keyboard. Control Shift A to deselect, and we're going to drop another texture on top of that. And it's going to be this texture right here. And we could go ahead and Shift T for that, and go ahead and lower that down a little bit, scale it, zoom back in, and I'll put it on the dark. You can put it however you want on here. I think I'll try this one right here. So I'll click back on the text, and then of course is select, invert, delete on your keyboard, Control Shift A to deselect it. I'm going to set this on overlay, and you can mess around with the layer. You can put this on overlay too if you want to, or soft light. Either one works. Lower the opacity on this one a little bit, so you kind of get, I don't know how to explain it, kind of a little bit darker of a texture. It's kind of like fiber looking texture, if that's what you want to call it. Alrighty, let's see here. Did that. Let me check over here and let me see what else we need to do here. Alrighty, we could go ahead and go right here, and let's click on the very first Ichigo, and let's go over back into our layer, and then layer effects, and then we're going to go to our drop shadow, and our drop shadow is going to be 75% at a 90-degree angle. Distance is 5 is fine. Our spread is going to be 20, and our size is going to be 25. Linear, that's fine, no noise. You can preview that if you'd like. Just hit OK. That gives it a pretty nice looking drop shadow, if you ask me. Kind of darkens it up just a little bit. And let's go all the way, let's see here. We could go Ichigo Concrete. Let's rename these so we don't get lost. Ichigo Ice. And then these two are the bevel and emboss. So let's go ahead and we are going to duplicate this one. Come all the way down to this layer. Control Shift D to duplicate it, and we're going to drag it all the way up to the top. Maybe. For some reason, my computer is being so slow today. Irritates me. Just like I said, you'll be able to grab it and drag it up top, but for some reason, it don't like me today. And it's totally up to you on if you want to drag it above the shadow or highlight. I like the highlight and stuff to be above that. And so on this layer we're going to go ahead and go Shift T, and we're just going to resize it. Then we're going to scale it. Let's see, what's a better blend mode for this? Whoa, that's too. We'll go back to multiply on the blend mode for that, and just set it in place wherever you think it looks good for you. Right there is fine for me. You want to right click on it, add a layer mask, and we'll go back to our brush with a black. A soft brush with a, make sure your opacity is 100%. We'll just go through here, just kind of get rid of that excess stuff. And the total look is totally up to you on how you want it to, the overall look to go. I'm just showing you how I basically made it. And we are going to go ahead and make a new layer. Click off of that stuff. And you can do this by Control Shift N if you'd like, and we'll name this small splatters, and we just want to grab a red color and of course go back with your splatter brushes. Let's see, we'll go ahead and outline this, that way we stay inside the lines. So I'll click And you just want to go through with your blood splatter and just put splatters wherever you think would look good for you. Resize them, move them, whichever you'd like. Just kind of put them just wherever you'd like I said. And then set this one on multiply also. Just like that. You could put as many as you'd like. Control Shift A. As little as you'd like. Like I said, it's totally up to you. And we're going to go ahead and we are going to duplicate this one. Control Shift Duplicate. Then grab the bottom one and we are press Shift T on your keyboard. Just kind of make it a little bigger. Press Scale. Press M on your keyboard for the move tool. Go up to Filters, Blur, Motion Blur. And we are going to blur it at a 90-degree angle. And you can blur this. This part is totally up to you on how much blur you want it to have. Press OK. And it's working the blur in there. You put the blend mode on, let's see, multiply, overlay, and we'll go with multiply. Just move it into place wherever you want it to. Moved in place there. And we'll go and we'll rename this one Ichigo Blur, and we are going to add a layer mask. And go back here and press P for the brush tool. Grab a soft brush and just kind of get rid of them hard edges. Just like that. And let's go and let's make a new layer here. And then of course you guessed it again with the splatters. With a red color. And just kind of put some splatters all over it. and put the layer mode on. You could do overlay, or of course you could do multiply, whichever you think looks best. So we got all that. Let's see, I think that is pretty much it for that. We are going to go all the way up to the top. We're going to go to the layer, new from visible, and we're going to go to colors, and we're going to grab curves, and we are just going to drag this down and this up. Maybe not that far. Just make a slight S curve. Press OK, and there you go. You have the finished Ichigo wallpaper. And that's the finish. I hope you all enjoyed that. Like I said, you could do whatever you'd like with the blood splatters and stuff like that. In this one, I just wanted to show you you can mess around a little bit with the channels and using layer modes and stuff like that. This is kind of a good one to, you know, fool around with some of the layer modes. Some of them don't have effect or nothing. And I just wanted to make a cool wallpaper and show y'all, share with you how I did the Ichigo wallpaper. And like I said, it don't look quite the same. This one's different, this other one's different, and this one is different. And that's the great thing about art, is that you be creative and do what you think looks best. And like I said, you see how on this one I got kind of more splatters and stuff. On this one I didn't do too many because I was trying to cut down a little bit on time, because I knew this one was going to run a little long. So you can put more splatters in there and do whatever you want. Hopefully you like this. If you do, like, subscribe. There will be more to come. I appreciate it. Have a great day. Oh, and one more thing, the files for download will be on my website. I will leave a link to my website in the description. You just go, when you get in my website, on the home page, there will be, up in the top menu bar, there will be, it'll say blog/downloads, and you just go in there and it will be in there, and you just click on it and download links will be in there. I appreciate it. Have a good day.